Hi. So the purpose of this recording is to demonstrate how to use SoThink to generate a movie of various images. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to add some photos of my niece, who will be turning 2 in October, and I'm also going to add a soundtrack. And my hope is that this demonstration will show you how you can do the same. So I've already added some slides here that have text in them, but for the next slide I'm going to add an image. So in this, on the left hand side of the screen, I have a plus button here. So I'm going to click plus, and when I do that I'm going to go Insert Image. Now I have to navigate to the images I want. And I'll pick this one. Now, you can use the original image or you can fit to the movie. Let's fit to the movie and see what that looks like. Perfect. So the image that showed up right now, there it is on that screen. Okay, so the image that showed up right now is exactly how I want it because I just wanted the image. So I'm going to go ahead and add another image. I'm going to do the same thing, Insert Image, and it looks like I can also hit F5. I'm going to select the next image, and let's fit to the movie again. Okay, now I'm going to insert another slide, and this time I'll try hitting F5, and sure enough it actually knows exactly where to go. I'm going to select my third image, and I'm just going to do that to a couple more slides here. Okay, so this is my fourth image. My fifth image. Now, this image looks pretty distorted. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to undo this. And I'm going to insert that image again, but instead of inserting it and fitting to the movie, I'm going to insert it and use the size of the original image. Now, you can see that this image is taller than the background. So if I look, let's see, if I look in this bottom section here with my with the image selected, I can adjust the percentage of the image in this box right here. So let's see what happens if I do 75%. Okay, the image is still too big, so let's go down to 50 instead. And it's a little small, but it would work. I could adjust it if I really wanted to, but I'll keep it like that. And then the next one, actually, the next scene here, the next photo I was going to use is going to be another image that I'm going to want to use the size of the original because it's a vertical image. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just, in fact, I'll even try 60. Whoops. 60. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple more images. And a couple more. So it looks like the way I set up my background here, that as long as the image is horizontal, it works just fine. But as soon as the image is vertical, I need to do some adjusting. So it looks like 65 is not quite the right size. Let me just try 70 and see what happens. Okay, 70 actually looks like that might be a really good size. Oh, I lied. Okay, let's try this again. Let's go 60. And If we move that up, let's try 55. Okay, so for me that would be somewhere between 55 and 60 looks like the magic number. So I've got a bunch of images here and a bunch of text. The next thing that we need to do is adjust the movie settings. So in this bottom section here on the left-hand tab, there's the tab that says Movie. And in here, you can adjust the frame rate. The frame rate is, it means how many frames per second. The default when I opened the program was 24. I decided to bring that down to 1. So I said that each frame was going to be 1 per second, or 1 frame per second, excuse me. But each of these slides actually has its own time measurement. So I'm going to select my first image here, and in this property windows, when I have the, let's see. Okay, so when I select the slide on the left-hand side, not the image, but the slide, in the properties window, I have a way that I can specify the total number of frames. And what I was doing for the intro slides was 5 frames. So I'm going to go ahead and set that as 5 frames. And I clicked this apply to all scenes. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but I thought it was worth a shot. And it doesn't look like it worked. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck that on that one. And now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make this 5 scenes on all of these that I just created here. Again, it's important to note that if I clicked on the image in this part of the screen, that I would have a different set of menu options. So I really want to be navigating through the slides on the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, just got a few more to go. Perfect. Okay, so now I should have all of my images here are set for 5 frames per second. So since my frame rate on the entire movie is set at 1 frame per second, it means that each slide I show is going to ultimately play for 5 seconds. And we can adjust that depending upon what our needs are. So now the question is, how do I add a soundtrack? So right now, again, I'm on the Movie tab. And I'm going to click next to this Stream Sound. I'm going to go ahead and click this little folder here, and I'm going to navigate to the song I want. Okay, now I created a file that was an MP3 of a whole bunch of kids' songs. And here I can actually designate where I start. So I do want it to start at the beginning of the slideshow, but I could choose any other slide that I wanted. And I'm not actually sure what loop means. I'm guessing that that would be if the sound is shorter than the number of clips that you have, that it would just continue to loop, but I'm not certain on that. Okay, so what I have right now is I've set music, I've set my frame rates, and let's go ahead and see what happens if we play. So I'm going to click preview, and I'm going to hope for the best. So on my screen, not only do I see the slideshow playing, but I hear the soundtrack in the background. And you can tell by watching the video that each of the slides is showing for about 5 seconds. And hopefully this has demonstrated how you can use SoThink to create a video show. And this concludes my demonstration. Thanks.